Hello my beautiful friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Deja, and if you're not new here, welcome to today's video. We are going to be choosing my May hopefuls because, you know, TBR is a bit of a stretch because if you've watched any of my videos here, it's hard for me to stay on track. So I like just saying hopefuls because hopefully I will read them. Will we? I don't know. It's really hard to stick to a plan as a mood reader. So I have my jar here and we are going to pick, I think, okay, so I don't have a plan per usual, right? So the thing is that I am in like an anti-romance era at this moment. I am only like really enjoying like fantasies and thrillers. I'm currently reading a romance and I didn't think I was gonna enjoy it, but I'm listening to it, so I feel like that's kind of helping me just like enjoy the parts that I want to enjoy, if that makes sense. So I think we'll pick out, I'll say 10. I've been reading about, over 10 books a month, so if I have 10, that gives me range to at least try to stay. I like picking more because more gives me like more options rather than 5, and if I really don't like any of the 5, I probably won't read any of the 5. So 10 I think is a good place because I don't really have books like I'm like itching to read. I mean, at the moment, again, I'm like super into fantasy right now, so I'm wanting to like read Zodiac Academy, the next book in the Everflame, I think it's Glow of the Everflame. And I have a couple like, I don't know, arcs that I need to be reading, and those are also fantasy though, so I'm just trying to pick more fantasy and like thriller books and just be realistic of what I can actually read, because I have come to terms with that I am not really enjoying romance at this moment. So with all that being said, we're going to pick out our books. I will pick out all 10, and then I will off camera collect all the 10 books that I'm going to choose, because that usually takes me a while. So not to keep you guys here for 30 minutes, I will do it off camera. So grab a drink and grab a snack and let's pick our TBR prompts. Okay, so we said 10, right? So this will be book 1. Go buy a book, which is super funny because I was planning on going to Barnes with my kids today. I'm gonna like take a picture of this and show proof to my husband that like I was told to go buy a book, which gives us even more reason to go to Barnes today. So we love that for prompt 1. Prompt 2 is, I had this last month and I put it back, is My Husband's Choice. I feel like I said this, well, I think I ended up taking it out, but I'm not sure if I left the clip in where I mentioned he is a nonfiction reader, so I feel like he's gonna pick out a nonfiction book for me to read. But it's funny because literally last night or the night before, I was like, oh, I need to do like a video of you picking out my books, and he was like, yeah, so this is perfect. I guess the book gods are my favorite today. So book 3 is, what is happening right now? A book with the letter Z. You guys, I don't ever show because I know it's so small and you guys are not going to be able to see that, but it's the letter Z in the title, which I just said I wanted to read Zodiac Academy. So like, hello gods, book fairies, are you listening? Okay, I'm loving that. Maybe we'll see if we find something different, but I doubt it because Z is a hard letter. This will be book 4. Oh gosh, this is small. Okay, you know what? This actually works also. What is happening? I mean, I'm not complaining. This is great. Everything's like in my favor. This one, it says to retry a DNF. So I don't know. I think that works because I just DNF'd a fantasy arc, but I said that I wanted to try it again. It's just the writing wasn't doing it for me at the moment, but I think I want to try it again because all the tropes and the premise of the book sound really good. So I'm getting lucky today. So this is book 5, well, prompt 5. Is that one? It's a long one. A book I meant to read last year. Well, that's like a gajillion books. So I guess it's kind of like free range because a lot of my books are from last year that I have. So that'll be not that easy, but like somewhat easy. So this will be book prompt 6. A book over 500 pages. I think I already have an idea. I feel like all these are working in my favor right now. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because I feel like all the books I want to read, most fantasy books are over 500 pages, so that works. Book 7. No, I spoke too soon. A rom-com book. Yeah, I'm not in the mood for rom-coms. I mean, I guess after reading so many fantasy books, I might be in the mood. So a rom-com, that's tricky because I have to find a rom-com that I'm actually going to be in the mood to read. Okay, this is book prompt 8. Most anticipated read. Okay. Okay. Can work with that. Can work with that. Prompt 9. The small ones always make me really nervous. A purple book. I have no clue. Like off the top of my head, no clue. So I'm gonna have to think about that. Okay, this is book 9. I keep saying book. Prompt 9. A sci-fi book, which isn't too bad, but the only sci-fi book I can think of is Red Rising, and that's literally been on my TBR each month, and I keep pushing it back because I never read it. So, but I feel like that's I know exactly which one I want to read. Okay, that'll be perfect. I just seen it's gonna be made into a movie. Hello, we love that. And this is prompt number 10, our last one. A retelling. Definitely not in the mood for a retelling. Because they're probably spicy, and I feel like I'm like kind of over spicy books at the moment. The last spicy book I read was Carnage, and I literally like skimmed to get past the like smutty parts because it's just like, all right, I want some plot, I want some storyline. Like I could care less about the smut right now. So that's that. Okay. Well, I feel like I got some really good picks. Most of them were in my favor. A couple ones that I have to think about. So I am going to go do that off camera and then come back and show you guys what I picked out. Alright guys, I'm back. That literally took me an hour. I feel like I should be used to it by now, but I'm definitely not. Okay, so I'm going to... Let me grab all the prompts. First, I have to start off by saying that I texted my husband and told him about him having to pick, and he said he wants to do a whole video this weekend. So I ended up switching out that prompt so that, you know, I can pick one, and then me and him are gonna just do a whole nother video this weekend. Don't know how that's gonna turn out. I don't even know. I have to figure something out. Give him a selection of books, or just let him browse my bookshelves and pick maybe 3 books or something. I don't know. What we're gonna do now is go over the prompts that I picked. I swapped that one out and I ended up just picking another one, and it was a thriller book, which again worked out. So that was great because here we are. Okay, so we're gonna just go picking, I don't know where, we'll put them right here. Picking each one. So this one was retry a DNF. So for that one, I am going to go back and try the one I mentioned, which was A Midnight Throne by Adriana Christian. And that's a fantasy one, and I don't really know much about it. I just got like the fan art from it and like the tropes and stuff and Shadow Daddy, and I was like, all right, sign me up. So that's gonna be the one I'm picking for to retry DNF. Thriller or mystery, which was the one I swapped out for my husband's choice, and I am going to go ahead. Oh yeah, I was gonna do Good Girl Bad Blood, but I'm not sure if I want to read that. I feel like I do want to read it because I want to like finish the rest of that series so that I can be done with it finally. But me and my sister-in-law, we both decided we were going to read The Silent Patient, because I never read it, but I felt like I never wanted to because I've seen so many videos and like people talking about it that I'm like, I pretty much know what happens. But somebody recently told me like, no, if you haven't read it, like you don't know what happens, so you should still try reading it. So I'm like, okay. Then my sister-in-law said she never read it, so I'm like, okay, perfect time, we're gonna read that one together. Then for the, oh gosh, this one was so hard. For the rom-com, I did not know what to pick because your girl is not in a mood for rom-com, but I ended up choosing Mistakes Were Made by Marilyn Wilsner. I don't know, but that one seems more grown-up-ish, and I've seen a lot of people say that it's really funny, and it's like the girl and her best friend's mom, and I'm like, okay, I've never read something like that, so I'm gonna give that a try. Who knows if it'll get read, but I figured that seemed more doable for a rom-com. The next one is a book over 500 pages, and for that one I chose the second book in the Kindred Curse saga, which is Glow of the Everflame, and that one has, I think, about 637 pages, I think it was. So I chose that because I cannot stop thinking about the first book, and I just want to continue that series. The next one was a purple book, and for that I chose the manhwa I've been reading. If you guys seen my previous videos, I've been reading Villains Are Destined to Die, and I've just been loving that series so much. That one has a lot of purple on the cover, so I thought that was perfect because I just got gifted book 3 and I'm like, can't wait to read it. So I will be reading that for the purple cover. For the retelling prompt, I had to text my book bestie because I'm like, I didn't know what to choose, but she helped me out and she sent me one that she had on her TBR for a really long time, which is called A Ship of Bones and Teeth, and it's a dark Little Mermaid retelling. And I was like, because Emily McIntyre has hers coming out, but it's not until the end of the year, so I'm okay, that gives me time. But I read the synopsis of this one, I'm like, wait, that sounds really good. It's not like the story of them falling in love. It's like they've been together, and then, you know, she made the deal to be with the prince, and she's actually married to the prince for a few years, but she's miserable and she hates him and she wants to get out. And I was like, wow, that sounds so good. So I'm excited for that one, high key. So that's for the retelling. The next one is the Z title. I ended up just choosing book 4 in the Zodiac Academy because I have to get this done. It just needs to get read. I'm itching to read this so bad, so I just thought it was perfect. And this is, I just said that, book 4, The Shadow Princess. So I'm so excited because these books keep getting better and better. And I saw someone say book 5 they cried, and book 7 somebody was like sobbing, and I'm like, I want to get to those parts. So I'm really excited to continue that series. My camera is dying like always. The next one was most anticipated read. I felt like this was a really easy choice. I just went ahead and chose Magnolia Park's The Long Way Home. I just finished reading Daisy Hates, so, you know, perfect timing. I literally just finished it like 2 days ago. So I'm really excited to get more of Magnolia and BJ and, you know, just continue to get my heart ripped out. We love those days, don't we? So the next one was Go Buy a Book, which I'm gonna go do right after I finish doing this. I'm gonna go pick up my son from school, and then we're gonna head to Barnes, and I'm gonna pick a book, and I will come back and let you guys know what I pick. So we'll come back to that one. The next one was a sci-fi book, which I have been itching to read this too because I've been seeing it everywhere, and that is Project Hail Mary. And I just actually this morning seen that they are turning it into a movie and Ryan Gosling is going to be the main character, and I'm like, okay, thank you. So I'm like, perfect timing, I'm gonna read that. I'm like, that's why I'm like, these prompts were in my favor today. The book gods and the book fairies were on my shoulders today. And the last one was a book you meant to read last year, and for that I just chose The Wicked King by Holly Black, because I actually have been thinking about the Cruel Prince literally for about a month now. Okay, we are finally back. My camera had died, and then literally 10 minutes after that I had to run out my door to go pick up my son from school, and then we went to Barnes and took 15 hours, and now we're here. So when my camera died, I was talking about this one for my prompt and just mentioning that I read Cruel Prince last year, and I've recently been thinking about that book a lot lately and just want to get back into that series because I thought it was really, really good. And I also know that there's like a follow-up, like another series that you know, kind of, oh my gosh, that kind of intertwine with this series-ish, I think. If you know, you know. I don't really know. That's why I want to read this, so then I can explore that. So I'm so out of breath. We literally just got home. So for my go buy a book, this happened, right? So for our go buy a book, I ended up, obviously bought a few, but specifically for this video I'm only going to talk about this one, Normal People. I bought this, believe it or not, this is probably like the third time I bought this book. I bought it when I first started reading, never read it, sold it, bought it again, thought I was gonna read it, didn't read it, sold it. Here we are again. So I have bought it for the third time. I do plan on trying to actually read it this time. I have a very special video I am going to be filming, and this is one of the books in the video that I have to read. I'm not gonna say too much, but I got recommendations from a certain somebody that I'm a big fan of. So yeah, this was one of the books that she recommended, and I will be reading it. I wanted to get it physically so that I can annotate it, because I feel like these are one of those books that you annotate when it's like more about like life and friendships and growth and real life stuff. So yeah, this was our Barnes & Noble book buy. My phone is just off the ringer. So that literally wraps up this video. All of today has been so hectic just for the 3-minute clip of this video. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Our March, girl, get it together, our May hopefuls, and I'm excited to read a lot of these, so hopefully that'll encourage me to actually get them read and accomplish a TBR for once. If any of you happen to be reading any of the books that I mentioned in this video, please comment down below. Leave your May hopefuls that you want to get done and read down below so that, you know, hold yourself accountable. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.